Welcome, everybody. It is great to have you with us today. Different host today, myself, Paul Watts. If you don't know me, hopefully you do, because I'm one of the staffs. But we've got an incredible staff with us today, Martyn Holmes. He's got a few things to show you that I'm not going to spoil. I'm going to bring him on any second. But it's great to have you here. Remember, no question is a silly question. So to get your questions in, we want to see in the chat box lighting up. If you're in the classroom and your tutor is controlling the keyboard, pop your hand up, ask a question, pop it in the chat. We'll bring it up on screen and then we can discuss. But we've got a few topics to talk to you today about. But without further ado, let's bring on Martyn Holmes. Here we go. Hello, mate.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? You find me here in my home studio. Looking forward to the masterclass today. Before we start, I just have to confess something with you guys. I had a bit of an injury and I've got a very bad shoulder. I've torn my rotator cuff. I've got impingements. I'm waiting on an operation, but I didn't want to let anybody down today. So I'm here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time, but what you'll find is possibly my body position might be a little bit out of sorts because I'm compensating for the bad shoulder. So if I'm standing slightly skew with, you understand it's compensation from the shoulder. So that's the only problem I'm going to have today is my shoulder. So bear with me. So today we are going to be looking at the short back and sides technique. Now this is Jim. Hello, Jim. Hello. This is a classic short back and sides. So this is what, this is the recipe. Your short back and sides with your sort of over-directed top. But we're not going to be doing that today. We're going to be working on something a little bit different. We're going to be working on something that's a bit more coming forward.
Nice, mate.
Coming forward and not as short. So on some women, I will use this technique and to give them like a bit of a pixie cut or just a nice choppy little short number. So I'm gonna do that. And the way I'm gonna do it is this is how you would set up your sorry, I've lost what's the word I want. Your technique. So you set up your technique like this with a horseshoe section. You would normally cut the underneath first and then do the top. With the classic short back and sides, the top is pulled straight up and everything's directed back towards it. Whereas this time, I'm going to pull everything up, but I'm also going to take the corners off. So it's not going to be square. It's going to have a slight point in the middle. I'm also going to work forward, but straight up. So it won't be any over direction. So it's all going to be the same length across the top. And then I'm going to dry it off, have a look where my weight line is sitting from the top. And I'm going to use that to work my way down. Again, I don't want it really harsh like a man's one. I want it softer so for a female. So that's the plan. I think I need to bring my backdrop down. So
talk us through it, mate. Talk us through the backdrop. You were telling me all about it. Your little studio.
My little studio. This is where I work. This is my little studio. This is where I do my private clients. I do my practicing, avant-garde, playing around with stuff. But to get us, so you can see this clearer, this needs to come down. So I'll just bring this down like this. And we have a nice black backdrop so you can see me a bit better. I'll just put that in there. How's that? All right?
Perfect. We've got a few of the people in. So Laura from Chichester saying hello. We've got
Hi,
Bon
Laura.
from Chichester. We've got Amber. We've got Bon again saying good afternoon,
Bon. Hello, Bon. Nice to see you.
Lee as well.
Or read you, actually.
And Amanda from NPTC College.
Oh, lovely. Well, hi, guys. Nice to hear you all. So, like I said, horseshoe section, but I'm going to treat it reverse. I'm going to cut the top first. I'm going to find the top of the head, highest point of the head. Can you see me here? Is that enough light?
A little bit more light would be good, mate. Just on the mannequin. Oh, yeah. A little bit more light on the mannequin or a bit closer. Hi, Jamie Lee from Chichester as well.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the light. Is that a bit better?
Yeah, a bit better, mate. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So normally you would do the underneath first. I'm going to start on the top. So I'm going to find the top of the very top of the head, the highest point here. Okay, just in front of the crown, and then I'm going to take a section straight across the top and brush that back out of the way. I'm going to push everything forward. Tell me if you can see what I'm doing or not. Maybe I should do a bit of this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push it all forward like this. I'm going to come across the top of my horseshoe. I'm going to take my first section, and this section is going to depict the rest of the haircut. So this is really important. Take your time. So I'm having a look at it. I'm pulling it up. I'm thinking, where do I want to go? The thing is, if I go too short and I can't put it back on. So to be honest with you, I'll probably leave it a little bit longer. I can always chip into it at the end afterwards if I want to take it down. The other thing I'm going to say is I'm going to save time. When you're in the salon, you're only working to like 3/4 of an hour, if you're lucky, an hour or whatever per haircut. So if you cut something blunt, which we do, then you've got to go back later on when it's dry and chip into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a straight line, but with the points of my scissors. So I shall show you this way. Can you see all right?
Yes, mate.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this middle section up, decide on my length, which is going to be about here. Instead of just cutting a straight line across, I'm going to cut a straight line across, but I'm going to use my points. And the idea of this is it breaks up the edge, gives you a softer outline straight away, gives you texture and dishevelment straight away. So I've got to go back and do that. If I go back, it will be to refine a few bits. So I'm going to look at that. Do you know what? I could probably take a touch more off of there. So I'm just going to take another less than 1/4 of an inch until I'm happy. So that's my first little section through the middle like that. If you can see that, okay. Okay. So now, obviously, where the head rounds off, I'm going to be pulling it straight out from the head. So it's going to be at that angle. Okay. So what I do is I take the section, pull it straight out from that angle, find my guideline from the previous section, as you can see, slight angle there on my fingers, and then I'm going to point cut all the way down. So you get that sort of shape.
Lovely.
Okay. So I'm going to go through that again, have another little look. Yeah, just to tidy up there, nothing major, just a little bit of dust. And then I'm going to go to the other side and do exactly the same. Now this side, I'm going to take a bit more time so I can get the balance right. You know, you don't want to rush this first one. It's all about getting that balance right. So I'm going to start probably by a little bit longer, have a look at it, measure it up, and think, yes, I need to go a bit deeper. So off we go. If in doubt, don't cut, measure. That's what I would say. So I'm just going to take that little bit off there.
So you're using the short back and sides men's recipe that we teach, and you're going to be doing it for a female look today, Martyn.
Exactly, yeah. So this is why I'm doing it in reverse. I'm going to cut the top first because I don't want to go steaming in with the sides on a female and be too short straight away, because it's easily done. And I've found over the years, because I've been using this technique for over 25, 30 years, you know.
Amazing, yeah.
When I started using this technique with Lee, of course, back in the day. So yes, it's nice to put your top shape in, and then I've got my weight line. I've got my weight line here and here, and this will then determine what I do underneath there. Whereas if I do it straight away, I'm done, and then I've got to take the top for the sides. On a bloke, it's not so bad because a fella, you know, you can take it right off. But on a female, you want it softer. You don't want it to look hard. You don't want it to look, you know, like she's about to have a fight down the pub. So, so first section done. Okay, you can see what we're doing there.
Perfect.
And then literally just going to go across the head and work forwards towards the front, doing exactly the same technique. So I shall carry on and show you. Again, section in front, pulling it straight up, not over directing. I can see my guideline, and then bosh. Just notice how I'm using the points of my scissors at a slight angle. Now, if I was point cutting on dry hair, my angle would be slightly different because I don't want to take too much hair out. But as it's wet and I'm getting my shape, I'm at a 45 degree actually. I want to take out more hair quicker.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wet her down because that sounded good, isn't it? She's trying.
We've got a question from Laura.
Okay.
And Laura said, how did your first experience with a short back and sides go?
Well, so, I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm going to be honest because I think actually honesty is the best policy. I'll tell you a story, right? So this is when I worked with Lee, back in Lee's very first salon. We were all very young and we were all learning our trade and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Lee was the king of the short back and sides, without a doubt. It was something that he could do without even thinking, without even looking. And we'd have, model nights, and he would teach us and help us and guide us along. And when we all helped each other, not everybody knows everything. So whoever knew something that no one knew, they would be the one that would show off that day, so to speak. Okay. So anyway, so blah, 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 cut a long short story short, I had a gentleman come in and I was doing my clipper over comb and I completely ballsed it up and I had to go to Lee and say help. And Lee came and put it right. And that is the God's honest truth. I mean, I'd been cutting hair for years before that, but not in this fashion. I'd been using a guard and just straight up the sides. I had no idea of using a clipper over comb. Yeah. But I thought I'd understood it and I thought that I'd got it. And, it's only a case of I hadn't practiced quite enough. Obviously now, 30 years later, or however many years later, I can do it with my eyes shut.
Yeah.
That very first one, and I don't know if Leah remember, but he had to come and put this guy's hair right for me because I really did get it wrong.
I love that.
And that's the truth. There's no hiding from it. That is the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
But then, I've always said that, a mistake really is a word for experience, The more mistakes you make, the more experience you're going to get. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you want to make mistakes, but we're all going to make mistakes. We all do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still making mistakes today. Yeah. I'm sure Paul does. I'm sure Lee does. It's just when you get to a certain level, when you've either gone a little bit too far one way or the other, and you know how to get out and compensate or, get out of trouble. That's the difference. Back then, I didn't know how to get out of this sort of sticky situation, and Lee had to come and sort it out for me. Which is fine, That's what it's all about. We was a team, and it's all about teamwork.
Another question from Laura. So Laura said, how often do you use this recipe on women in the salon? Great question.
I would say, okay. So first of all, you've got to think about me and my age and my clientele. I'm 54 and I've been cutting hair a long time, and my clients have grown up with me as well. So I have a lot of middle-aged to older ladies. And the older ladies are the ones that want that sort of this sort of look. What's Judi Dench? Someone like Judi Dench. She has a real short, croppy, pixie little number coming forward. It's a very similar sort of thing. So I actually do quite a lot, to be honest, because I'm the one in the salon that gets all the old girls, which is fair enough. I'm the old boy. I'm the granddad of the shop. So I do tend to get all the old girls.
Yeah, just grown up with them.
What's that?
Just grown up with them. That's something I'm finding now, where your clients, when you start off, they're younger, and then they grow with you.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. It's not recently. I've lost a few. Well, they've got too old, and I know it's sad. I've been to a few funerals lately, but that's another thing in our job. You make so many friends, and that half of our clients become our friends, and when you lose one, it's bloody sad. It is like losing a good friend. So, unfortunately, I'm at that stage where it happens.
Yeah.
But hey.
Bonner said, all the students said, no way you're 54.
I am. And granddad. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you.
I think I said that when I met you. I think you were like, I'm 48 when I first met you. And I was like, no, you're not.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
I think I'm very lucky. I've just got good skin. I haven't.
Yeah.
My mum didn't have one wrinkle. When she passed away at 86, she didn't have one wrinkle, my mum.
Wow.
So I've got her to thank. I think also because I've got a bit of Asian blood, I think that helps.
Yeah.
You know? I think it does a bit. A bit. But thank you anyway. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're coming towards the very front now. And again, just straight up. I'm not over directing. Just straight up. You can see what I'm doing. Straight up. Nice. Now look, the way I'm going like this is years of doing this. Muscle memory. I look like I'm going really fast, and I am, but I've been doing it a long time. So I would say when you're doing this, slow down, because you'll end up cutting yourself more than your hair. Like I say, me personally, I've been at it a long time. I can cut very fast, and I still don't cut myself. So, but it is muscle memory, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is coming forward for now. Again, I'll probably take some of this off around the front, but again, I'll do that later when I've got more options. So now, like with the other recipe, the short back and sides, I'm going to be working backwards and following the head shape. Okay, exactly the same as the classic short back and sides. So straight down the middle. Okay, straight out from the head, which is at that angle, obviously. So the next bit's going to be at that angle.
Yeah.
Take my section from the previous bit, straight out. There's my previous section. My fingers are parallel with the head. Again, I'm using my points of my points of my scissors over the top of my fingers to create a nice soft outline and texture at the same time. Can you see that?
Yeah, beautiful, mate.
Yeah, so that's literally it. So I've just done that until I've run out and gone all the way through. I'm not going to bother cutting below the weight line because I'm going to get the clippers out very soon.
Yep.
So go on.
I was going to say, so with the cutting this on a female, then you're saying that roundness that you're putting into it, rather than that squareness, is what's making it.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. It's going to be softer, rounder, and a lot more texture. So, second one, again, parallel, straight down. Look for my guideline. I should have a good, strong guideline now. There she is. Off she goes. Carry that on until we run out of hair. And again, that then becomes your weight line.
Perfect.
Okay. Same again. Next one. Straight out from the head. And again, nice and loose with your scissors. You want really sort of nice chippy, choppy texture going on. Right, now I'm just going to lift it up here, see if there's anything else to come off. There's a tiny weeny bit there. There's that little bit there. So that's that side done. Okay.
Super quick.
Was it too quick?
No. Super quick technique. It looked great.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is it. You got to remember, in the salon, you haven't got that much time. When we're learning, we've got all day and we can take our time. But when you're in the salon and you are knocking out one after another, you've got to get quicker. You know, once you've learned and you've got your big tens and you can start bending the rules, you need to be quick as well. So again, that's another reason, instead of club cutting and then chipping when it's dry, do it all in one hit.
Yeah.
You know, not every haircut is going to need that. Certain haircuts just need blunt. But for this particular one, I want it to be nice and textured, nice and chippy choppy. So again, straight down the middle. Sorry, next one, parallel to that, straight down the back. Looking for my guideline. There she is. Can you see that okay? And again, chip, 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 chip. And then work down to the next bit. You should have a really strong guide from previous. There it is. Okay. Same again. All the way down, parallel to the last. Straight out from the head. Just going to check that bit there. Tiniest little bit there. Again, like Lee says, if you go back and check and there's just dust to come off, no problem. If you're finding that you're going back and there's lots coming off, you need to look at it again. Okay, so again, section. Straight out from the head. Now, remember, when I say straight out from the head, I mean that, but I also mean that. So I'm not pulling it straight up here, because that would be over-directing. I'm pulling it because if we think about that's the top of the head, and each bit you move round, you're pulling it at that angle. Yeah. So when I'm saying here, if I go this way, I am out here. I'm out there. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Perfect sense, mate.
I'm following the head shape, pulling it straight out from the head, no over-directing, and in that way, you get a nice even balance, and that's what it's all about. You know, you want it to balance well. You want it to look good. You don't want, unless you're after an asymmetric look, then fair enough. You're going to want it different. But in general, most haircuts are geometric and level. So I'm just going to bring that up.
So with today's topics then, and we're talking about influencing factors on this. So head shape being one of them.
Head shape definitely being one of them, you know, which, do you know what? For me, clipper over combing really is good, because if someone's got a funny shaped head, let's say,
yeah,
or they've got some lumps and bumps on one side, with clipper over combing, you can work it so that it looks balanced and even, but you've had to sort of modify it around a lump or around a scar or something like that. And I think if you stick a guard on and go, zzz, that's it. There's no way you can get back to that. So by working it down slowly, if there are any little lumps and bumps, you can work with them. Other things you need to look at are, you know, cowslicks and what they call widow's peaks. And something I learned today is a nape well.
Nape well.
The nape well, yeah, I've never heard of a nape well before, but that's fine. I mean, Paul said it to me earlier, and I'm like, wow, okay, brilliant. Never thought of it like that. I just called it the nape area. Never thought of a well, because it is, yeah. So you've got to think about that. You've got to think about a crown, single crown, double crown, treble crown. I've never seen any more than 3 crowns on a head. I mean, there must be someone with a 4 crown. There
must be somewhere.
There must be somewhere, but. Yeah, so you have to take into consideration, you know, if you want something to lay flat at the front and she's got a cowslick, it's pushing it up, well, you don't want to cut that short, because straight away that's going to be uncontrollable. You know, so you need to leave it longer if you want it to sit flatter. Depending on the look you want, you need to look at, you know, the head shape. You need to look at the face shape. There's so many factors. But after a while of doing this, it comes naturally. You just sort of do it without even thinking.
Yeah.
So let's just go from where we are. We've done a horseshoe top. We've pulled it up. We've point cut our length in. We've then followed the head shape, which has given us a slight point through the middle. Okay. And then we've come around the back and we've taken our section, followed that through down the back. That's been pulled out from our previous section. Pulled out. So we've gone effectively, we've cut it like that so far. Okay. And again, on this from here, we've cut it like this sort of thing. So slightly longer through the middle, It's just because I've taken those corners off, whereas in the original short back and sides, this is all kept very square.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it off, because I like to cut the underneath from this dry, as opposed to wet. Okay, so I'm just going to dry it off.
I'll just mute you, mate, and I'll ask if they've got any questions, and then we'll come back to you once you've dried. Right, guys. So who's enjoying it? First of all, put in the comments. Let's see who's enjoying this recipe on a lady, on a female client. Because did you think, could you get it into your sort of mind that we could use the short back and sides technique recipe on a female? Were you just looking at it as a really sort of square, masculine shape? What Martyn's doing today is he's taking off that corner just to soften off the shape and make it that little bit more wearable for a female. And that's something when we're in salon, a female might come in and say they want it really strong, maybe a bit of like disconnection over the sides. Then you can cut it a bit squarer, have those pieces come over and then refine it. But Jamie Lee Curtis, as thumbs up. So yeah, let me know. As the classroom, how many are in your classrooms as well? Because this is always something that we always want to know. There's 10 people viewing at the minute, but how many eyes has Martyn got on him at the minute? Let us know in the comments, because we always wonder who's watching and how many are watching. But you can see Martyn blow drying this now, and he's sort of putting in that texture that he's already cut in. When you do the short back and sides original recipe, it's cut very blunt. But you can see Martyn now, he is blow drying it, using his fingers and thumbs to create that texture in there, using the hairdryer, not just to dry it, but to style it. And that's also a technique that we want you guys to learn and play with, that using a hairdryer, not just to dry hair, but to style hair, to use it to manipulate hair and get it to move where you want it to move. So let me just bring these up. So Jamie Lee did the thumbs up. Thank you. We have Laura. I thought it would be more masculine, but that definitely not is the case. I'll bring Martyn back in now. Hello, mate. I just asked them if they're enjoying it. Jamie Lee has done a thumbs up. Laura's sort of replies on the screen. I thought it would be more masculine, but that is definitely not the case. Thumbs up.
No, that's it. I mean, that's the whole point, is to keep it softer. But by using, I mean, wait until you see the clipper in as well, because that's going to be taking that short, but again, not as tight as a classic short back and sides. So I've dried it all forwards. I've just pushed the front up just so I can get an idea in my mind. So I am going to wear this front up. I'm also going to cut it a bit shorter around this front, because I do want it to stick up. But we'll come to that after, texturizing and finishing off and stuff. So if you look at this, the way it's been cut, the weight line is sitting exactly where I want it.
Yeah.
It's sitting where the head rounds off.
Could you bring it a little bit closer, Martyn, so we could see that? Oh, yeah. Lovely.
Don't forget, the front's going to come off.
Yep.
Oh, that way. Right, so now I'm going to work from where the weight line's sitting, which is sort of, where are we? Oh, it's back to front, isn't it?
I know.
Here. And then I'm going to work it down from there.
Lovely.
So let me show you what I'm going to do.
Did everybody see that? Let us know in the comments. You've seen that weight line that Martyn's put in with just the haircut so far. And now he's going to use the original recipe with the clippers over comb, yeah?
Exactly. And again, I'm going to keep it a lot softer and longer than the classic. So, nice. Yes, I'm going in. Can you see me all right?
Can you bring a little bit closer?
Yeah, I've just got to move some lights about.
Okay.
No problem. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, clippers on, big comb. I'm going in. I'm dragging it up. I'm going to look for my weight line, and I'm taking it off like that. Okay. I'm going to work a way along. Look for my weight line. Take it off. Okay, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to work it slowly down.
Okay. Can everybody see okay? Let us know in the comments. Everybody.
Yeah, can you see all right what I'm doing? I know my arm's in the way, isn't it?
What about the other side? Can you flip it round the other way so that the mannequin's facing
that way?
Yeah.
Try that. Is that better?
Yeah, looks it, mate. Yeah, you can see the clipper work now.
So I'm going in, turning my comb towards me, lifting it up, looking for my weight line, and taking anything off that's underneath it. Okay, so I'm just going to lift her up a bit, like that. Okay, so I'm going back in. I'm just working it down nice and slowly.
Nice.
And again, this is just, I'm doing it quite quick looking, but I've been doing this a long time. So it's sort of almost natural for me just to do it, but I'm slowing myself down to show you guys, because I would have whacked this out really quickly.
Yeah. Alex has got a question. Do you prefer clipper over comb or scissor over comb? Great question, Alex.
Okay, I prefer clipper over comb personally. And the reason for that is most of the time it takes so long. I used to love scissor over comb. I used to love it. But when you're in a salon environment, it's a long process.
Yeah. And
you do have to go over and over. With a clipper, you can still get the same result, but in half the time, as long as you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
So
you can see the shape forming now. It's lovely.
Yeah, exactly. And all I'm doing is just doing exactly the same as the clipper over comb that we do in our original recipe, but I'm just leaving it longer. I'm not taking it to the bone because it's a female haircut. I'm not taking it to the bone. So
really strong silhouette there. Yeah, it's lovely. Still super soft as well.
Oh, it's that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, mate.
Can you see?
Yeah. No hard lines or anything. It's beautiful.
No. And the beauty of that is using the weight line from above to work it down.
Yeah.
And again, it's probably the only time I would use it would be for this sort of idea. I'd say I use this technique on every single man that has, clipper works haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things that once you've learned it, it's very hard to not use it. Very hard to not use it. So I'm just refining that a little bit, just going over it, having a little look, thinking, okay, that little bit of weight needs to come out. Hang on, just move that light. Where are we? That little bit of weight. Can you
still see? Yeah.
I know someone that's It's funny because this is back to front, isn't it? So I go like that, and it's going like that.
Yeah, it throws you right off.
So yeah, I'm just going to work my way up a little bit. Just have a look, see if there's anything that needs to come off. I'm quite happy with that right now. So I'm now going to take it round to the other side. I'm just going to tighten this up a bit. 1 second.
A question from me, Martyn, and I think the guys will appreciate it. Is when we are doing scissor over comb on females, I think the female clientele feel a bit more safe with scissors. How would you propose to a female client that I'm going to be using clippers today?
Well, I've got to be honest, I wouldn't even tell them.
No.
Well, because it's a case of, what are we doing? That's what you want. This is how I'm going to get there.
Cool.
If they was to question me, then I would think about it and I'll talk to them about it. And again, if someone said to me, I do have a couple of clients that don't like the clippers and they only want scissors. So I do it only scissors. Takes a little bit longer, but I get the same result.
Yeah.
So, 1 second. Still a little bit damp there. 1 sec.
No problem.
Just a little bit there. Yeah, so I wouldn't try and explain, because at the end of the day, most people haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah.
With a haircut. So it's very hard to talk to somebody technically, because you get clients going to come in and they go, "Oh, well, okay, what are we doing today? I want it. Can you bring it up the length and I want it feathered?" Well, okay, but what does feathered mean? I mean, it's not really a technical term, but I know what she means.
Yeah.
You've got to try and understand what people are saying when they don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
So if you start sort of, blindsiding them with technical jargon, I just think it's not a waste of time, but it could be confusing. Yeah. So my approach is, okay, no problem, I can do that, and I'll just do it. Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely,
Don't give them a chance to say, "Oh, don't do that," because they don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
And at the same time, mate, it could be a very busy day in the salon. I've got a backlog and I've only got half an hour. I need to get this off quick.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
times when you need it for quickness. There's times when you need it because you need it. And there's times you can't use it because people don't want you to. But yeah, I think that's my approach, is just do the haircut.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, perfect sense. It'd be the same for me in the salon, with working with clippers or scissors or razors, whatever the end result is. Well, that's how we're going to get there.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm starting on my second side now. That's my first side, as you can see. Again, these little bits here, where are they? Like these bits, I'm going to cut them off afterwards, but I'll show you that. I'm going to use a texturizing technique with texturizing scissors to finish off my haircut. Okay, so now I'm going to go in for my other side. So I'm just going to go straight in, find my weight line. Hang on, let's get that comb through. Find my weight line and whack it off.
Lovely. I love the sound of it.
But it is, when you practice and you've got it, it's very quick.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, if you get something done quickly, gives you more time to refine and finish. Yeah. You know? Okay, so again, work my way across. Work my way through the back.
Amber's asked us a question we were talking about before we came on.
Hello, Amber.
How are your salons getting on after the pandemic? Do you have more or less clients as before?
We was just talking about this earlier. It's been crazy because we are busier than ever before. Mm. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I mean, things are very good at the moment. Sorry, things are really good at the moment. We've got lots of young, new graduate stylists, so they're building up nicely. Yeah, we're up to full capacity as far as chairs are concerned. In fact, we've had to start doing shifts because we've got more stylists and we've got chairs now. Wow. So people are coming in on different days, you know, so everyone can get a go in, you know. But that's a great place, you know, good situation to be in because, you know, not being funny, it weren't that long ago. It was all panicking. What's going to happen? What we're going to do? So, no, things are all right at the moment. You know, really touch wood. Things are okay.
Yeah, great to hear.
Yeah, it is great to hear, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a tough few years. It really has for everybody.
Definitely, yeah.
So we can see how I'm still going in. I'm going in, comb out. Hang on, just excuse me. In, comb out, off. So like that. Lift it up. Make sure that comb is pointing to the ceiling rather than towards the head because you'll cut too much off. If anything, aim it further out towards you. You'll keep more hair until you feel confident that you can just go steaming in and take it off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push your head forward a little bit so I can come in at this angle. Up like that.
Lovely. How are all the learners? So how are you all getting on with the short back and sides? We'd love to know. So put it in the comments. And if it is a tutor at the front of the class, just get a little bit of a vibe from everybody. Are they all loving it? Do they see now how they can convert and change all the recipes from the original recipe to something that they can use on the salon floor? Because this is something at LSE that we do preach, and it's something that I preach heavily as well. And I know Martyn will. It's that we can use these recipes as a fundamental foundational haircut, but then mash a couple together, change little aspects of it, and then you're a fully fledged salon sort of running stylist.
Exactly. You know, once you've got a few techniques under your belt and you understand the physics and maths of them, let's say, in as much as if you're pulling it out at an angle, there's your maths. If you're cutting it at an angle, there's your maths. When you let go and gravity takes over, what's it going to look like? There's your physics. So, you know, so once you understand that, you only need a few techniques to be able to do a million things.
Yeah.
But you need to understand it and you need to practice. It's all about practice. And it's all about, like I say, experience is the name everyone gives to their mistakes. So make more mistakes. It's simple.
Yeah. Amanda has just asked, is the competition today? I'm not sure if it's today or if it's tomorrow. I've seen Lee's story and there was like a 2-day countdown. So I don't know if it's tomorrow. Do you know if it's today or tomorrow, Martyn?
What's this?
The LSE competition.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, if you check Lee Stafford World Instagram, click on his story. I know it was on there yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it said 2 days. So I thought it was tomorrow. But Lee is in a college today. That's why I've taken over as what Lee normally does. Normally does online competitions. Oh, what for here? So to give away something.
Oh,
normally does online competitions online. Oh, okay.
Okay. What have you got to give away?
What have I got to give away?
Yeah.
Well, I've got some. Where are they? Here. Some Lee Stafford products just here.
Why don't you ask them to guess the age of my grandson?
Okay. In months will do.
In months will do, yes.
Yeah. All right. There you go. There's the competition today.
It can be in months. Yeah. Months or years and months, but I can't give away too much.
No. So that is the competition today then. The competition is guess the age in months of Martyn's grandson.
Maybe I should hold up a picture.
As a little, as a hint. There we go. So the closest person or the first person to get it perfect wins, and we'll send them some Lee Stafford products.
Okay, that's what you're getting.
Rebecca has said 36 months. Okay. Amanda said 5 months. All right, let's keep them coming.
Keep them coming. We'll let you know at the end. Okay, guys. So now we've cut our top. We've cut our bottom. I'm now going to go around and refine, take any weighty bits I don't want. I'm going to look at this fringe, and I'm going to lose some of this. I'm going to chop into it so I can texturize it. Can you see all right? It does seem a bit dark, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can see. If you bring it a little bit closer, it lightens. It's the white balance, I think. But yeah, you can see the shape.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just choosing a bit more light.
Yeah, it's the silhouette for me, mate. It's the perfect sort of softness and roundness to that you can really see it.
Yeah. So, okay. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my texturizing scissors. Now, my scissors particularly are only sharp on one side. This isn't actually a blade. You won't cut your finger. That's not a blade. The blade is here, and the gaps are very big. So it doesn't take out a lot. It takes out tiny, weeny bits at a time. So you've got a lot of control. So what I will do, I will go in like this. I will look at it. I'll think, right, I don't really want that, but I don't want any blunt lines.
Yeah.
So you can see how I've just...
just taken off that front.
See, I can just got rid of some of that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just going to go through it, take off any weighty bits I don't want, take off any bits around the front I don't want. I could even visually work it. Okay, just trying to finish that shape nicely around the front. Get rid of this because it's a big lump we don't need.
Bon has just said he loves the idea of starting the top section for short back and side. We don't have many short back and side clients in our college, but look forward to having them. So to try this technique.
Yeah, brilliant. It's nice when you see something that's new and take it away and use it. You know, that's the whole point. That's why we do these masterclasses. So again, I'm just chewing up this front a little bit. I want it to be a bit chewy. I don't want it to look too, I don't know, too solid. I want it really loose and choppy and messy. But we'll fiddle about with some product in a minute. But you can see what I'm doing as far as around the edges are concerned. Yeah, so you can see how where are we? I've taken that off there. Yeah. So I'm going to work on this very front bit because it's quite thick. This is quite a thick area of hair. So I'm literally going to just go in and look, taking hardly anything out. Look, where are we? See, it's nothing. but it's enough to work it slowly without cutting too much off in one hit. So a lot of people would say, oh, you shouldn't be using texturizing scissors. I think if it cuts, you can use it. There's nothing wrong with using a piece of glass. People use razors. It's just a blade. So it's what you feel comfortable with, and it's the sort of the texture that you want and the finish that you want. So, you know, if you used to go to Sassoon's, they wouldn't entertain a pair of these at all. They wouldn't even entertain a pair of clippers, to be honest. So I would say if it cuts, use it. If you cut well with it, use it. If you get a good result from it, use it. If you're happy, use it. If it's going wrong, don't use it. if you're upsetting people and they're crying, don't use it. It's really a case of what works for you at that time for that look. Yeah. You know, I've got razors. I don't use them very often, but there's times when I have to use them, you know. But I have them. I don't use them very often, but they're there when I need them. Okay, so again, I was just going in and just taking out bits of weight, chopping into, disheveling, texturizing, whatever you want to call it. But it's all visual now. I'm just going to move back because I'm very close to all the stuff. Right, that's better. We're getting somewhere now. I'm just going to just take this down a little touch, not a lot. So again, it's scissor over combing, but we're using texturizing scissors.
Yeah, I mean, I use texturizers a lot more than I ever have, to be honest.
Yeah, I must admit, when I was training, we weren't allowed to use them. So I didn't use them for many, many years. And then when I discovered them, it's like, why haven't I been using these? Because I was told not to. Yeah. I was told not to. You can't use them, you've got to do this. Well, that's fair enough. But I think in the beginning, when you're learning, you don't want to be learning with these. Yeah. Really, you need to learn properly, club cutting, you know, straight lines. These are for texturizing. These are for finishing. These are for fine tuning. You know, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just fine tuning it like that. Yeah. Yeah, for anybody who hasn't got texturizing scissors, you can just point cut, can't you? So when you were talking about on the wet hair, you were doing 45 degrees. You'd probably do more 90 degrees straight into the hair. Definitely straight in that way. Yeah. So let's have a little look. She's looking good at the moment. Yeah. What I'm going to do, quickly blast her, get any hairs off. And then we're going to use, where is it? Not that one, that one. Use a little bit of messed up. So it's Lee Stafford's messed up, this one. Okay, a little bit of that in my hand. Pass it around my palms, so it's not one lump in one piece, one area. And then I'm just going to gently work it in. I don't want to just go all in one spot because that's not what you want. You want to use the product to do its job, which is texturize, hold, separate, all these bits and bobs that you want, and just take your time. Because this is the fun part. You've done the haircut. You now want to start styling it to get it how you had envisioned it in the beginning. Yeah. Again, I'm just working at it with the palms of my hands, straight across the top. What I normally tell customers when because a lot of customers go, well, how do I do that when I get home? You know, how do I do it myself? And what I tell my customers is the same thing. What you shouldn't do is look in a mirror while you're putting products in your hair, because you're looking in the mirror, you're trying to get the product in, but because you're looking in the mirror, you're trying to make it look good. You can't do that. You need to look away from the mirror and get this product and work it in, then come back to the mirror and see what you got. Yeah. Because it might be a case of like, oh, just flatten that down and ruffle that and I'm done. Yeah. Or it might be a case of, right, I'll just retweak it. But you can't put product in and get the finished look at the same time. Really, this is for clients at home. They need to do it in a certain way so that they don't get in a mess. Really. Yeah. They always say, "Oh, I use far too much." Well, use less then. You know, it's quite simple. Yeah. Right, bear with.
Great, mate.
I'll take her off and get her close, but
yeah.
Got my hands.
What do you guys think? How does it look? Looks completely different to the normal short back and sides, doesn't it? Wouldn't you agree? Let us know in the comments. And yeah, with all of the guesses, I can see a winner, and one person has got it right. So
Really?
yeah, we'll let you know at the very end and what to do to claim.
Oh,
them.
also, I forgot to say you've got to get his name as well, which you'll never get. He's got a very unusual name. You'll never get it.
What's his name?
His name is Odin, like
Odin.
the Viking god.
Right.
Thor's dad.
Right.
Yeah, Thor's dad. So
Jamie Lee, I say it looks great. Bon.
Just taking a little bit more out of there. Just bear with. You can see how I'm working it now. I'm looking at it and thinking, right, that's got to come away. That's got to be got rid of. That wants to be texturized. That wants to go. That wants to stick up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring her forward so I can have a look how she's doing.
Yeah. Seamless, mate. Looks lovely. Yeah. You can see like that technique to use that on the salon floor is going to be a salon winner.
Of course it is, all day long.
Yeah.
Can you see the fringe? It's a bit dark, isn't it?
Oh, you can see it. There, yeah. Yeah, I love the texture around the sort of recession point.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't do that until it's finished. Until you've cut it and dried it and done it all, you can't go around the edges because you don't know what it's going to look like. You need to sort of style it up a bit. Then you can go, right, that's got to be taken out of there and that's got to be textured more and pushed up and what have you. But there you go.
Perfect.
I'm just going to get the other one.
Okay. And then they're going to go on a date.
So that's a classic short back and sides with your man. And basically, this is what I've done again is pretty much this one.
Yeah. Super cool. Laura said, love it.
Ta-da!
There we go. So, guys, if you want to, we've got like about 5 more minutes. If you want to get any questions in to Martyn or myself about anything, but today's look is a salon winner. So, if you're going to copy that completely, you'll have a load of clients that are going to be really happy. Yeah,
I'm trying to get it so the light's really good, but it's not easy.
Yeah, there's good. Looks good there, mate. Yeah. Bon's give you a little emoji.
Oh, thanks, Bon. But yeah, I mean, how long did that take?
Well, what? 45 minutes?
Really, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So it's a great technique in the salon, especially if you're running behind. You can get certain looks quickly.
Yeah.
You know, but I love the technique anyway. You know, I probably use a short back and sides at least 4 times a day because I do lots of men as well. Yeah. I do 50-50 men and women. In fact, I do most of the men in the salon. So I'm using it a lot, which is how, like I said earlier, it's why I'm very quick at it because it's practice.
Yeah.
30 years of practice, 40 years, 35 years of practice. How long have I been at this game? Do you know what? Nearly 40 years.
Wow.
38 years.
Wow. Cool. Amazing.
So, if anyone got any questions?
Rebecca just said the one that with the beard looks like you. But, and then she said the one with the glasses, and I thought she was just describing you.
Well, this little chap.
Yeah.
Do you like his beard? I put some extensions in his beard.
Yeah, I love it.
But that is the classic short back and sides. You can sort of mean everything is over directed, isn't it? So that's how you get that longer at the back. Yeah. And whereas that, it's all pulled up straight from the head. It's all the same length all the way around.
Yeah.
And there's no corners. The difference being, you've got your corners here.
Yeah.
So you've got your corners here. No corners on that one.
No, you can see how real strong that gents one is. It looks super strong on camera.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, a nice real square edge to it and everything. I love the taper on it. I love the beard as well, yeah.
Yeah, well, I thought it just made it a bit better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, here we go. I'm very happy, very pleased with these today. Oh, that didn't do good for my shoulder. Okay, anyone else got any more questions?
If we get any more questions, we'll give you a second to get some questions together if you want to.
Who won the competition?
We'll reveal it now. So it was Amber Rowland.
20 months, correct. Well done.
Yeah. So if you just DM, I don't know, do you DM me on Instagram and I'll sort it out. PaulWatts.life on Instagram or Martyn Holmes Hair, and we'll sort it for you. Get them products sent out. But yeah, well done. Great guess. All the others were like 10 months, 9 months, 25, 24, 16, 26, 11, 15. So yeah. But
well done, Amber. 20 months he is. He's my best little friend. He is. I love him.
Right.
It's like being a dad again, but better. The difference being I can fill him full of E numbers and then give him back.
Yeah, smarty.
Okay.
So Bon's just said, well done, Amber. Yeah, well done, Amber. We'll get those products sent over to you. I don't know if you want to let us know what your hair's like, and we can maybe dictate something around your hair, but we'll get that sorted for you. But Martyn, thank you so much, mate. It's been amazing.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you get something out of it. Keep practicing. You'll get it. You'll get it. All right.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Great to see you. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on the next live.
Bye-bye.